This is part 2 of our walk from Singapore to Malacca in conjunction with Farah Meswara's 680th birthday, and one of the biggest questions we had before starting was whether it was even possible to walk across the bridge from Singapore to Johor. Having tried it ourselves, we can tell you the answer is a yes and no. After getting through Singaporean immigration, we saw this sign which seemed to indicate that we could go ahead on foot. So when we walked past all the buses, we arrived at this turnstile, and then when we went through, we found a pathway that was pretty well signed, which gave us the confidence to continue. On the Singaporean side of the bridge, there was a stretch of pathway about 2 feet wide which felt quite safe to walk on until you get here where the pathway just kinda ends. At this point, we guessed that we had made it to the Malaysian side of the bridge, which meant we needed to watch out for motorcycles before thankfully the path started again. So what was weird was we'd already made it this far across the bridge and we're so close to JB when we finally saw a no walking sign. And here's where it went downhill, well, figuratively, because we started having to walk uphill, because suddenly the pathway just stopped even though we were technically already in Malaysia. We were wondering whether we needed to turn back, but decided not to because there was a police dude who saw us but didn't stop us, so we just kept walking. This part of the walk was pretty dangerous, so maybe we're legally required to say not to try this, who knows. We eventually saw this sign for cars and vans versus buses and switched over to the bus lane, and thankfully there was standstill traffic on the Kereta Persendirian lane, which made this quite easy. And finally, after walking just under a kilometer, we'd essentially made it. When we got to the main building, we arrived where the buses dropped people off and had to pretend like we didn't just do something potentially illegal. But once we made it past immigration into JB, we were able to see the bridge that we had just been walking on. And so again, to answer the question, is it really possible to walk across the bridge from Singapore to Johor? We'll leave that to you to decide after watching this video, but in the meantime, let us know whether you'd give this a try, and as always, keep watching Chili Sauce for more current issues tambah pedas.